Should Donald Trump be banned from social media? Will we ever believe in growth metrics again? Is social impact investing the future of Wall Street? We'll discuss these topics and more on the audio show at the intersection of marketing, media, tech, and popular culture. We call it Disruptive FM. Roll the title.
Driving? No purchase necessary.
It's Disruptive FM. Welcome to Disruptive FM, the culture of business, marketing, media, technology, and pop culture. Brought to you by Microsoft Advertising with your host, Jeffrey Colon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Disruptive FM, number 70. Thanks for being here. I'm Jeffrey Colon, head of brand studio for Microsoft Advertising. We've got a good one for you this time. Some really interesting topics to dive into. And we'll be joined in a bit by special guest Bobby Turner. He's CEO of Profits with a Purpose. So let's get to it.
Here are this week's trending topics on Disruptive FM. Tweet abuse.
It goes without saying that the world is a fragile place right now. Between a pandemic, worldwide protests for social justice, and an economic depression not seen in our lifetimes, everyone and everything feels on edge. And much of this is driven by disinformation. Now, we expect misinformation from presidents and prime ministers, but tinfoil conspiracy theories? We're living in the upside down. Look, propaganda has always been used to gain power and control the masses. There are many parts of history we can point to over the past 100 years where people believed something and then humans went to a dark place. Much of this misinformation was back in an era with one-way media, films, newspapers, TV news, the radio. But now we have two-way algorithmic media. It moves fast and it breaks things. Some say it may even be breaking society. Filter bubbles are created and people don't see things to help them shape critical opinion. But it gets worse when powerful people, in this case a president, uses Twitter to push a bunch of conspiracy theories or uses language to incite violence or harm. And this is what brings us to the fork in the road. What is social media technology's place in this world? We have platforms like Twitter now labeling the president's tweets based on tweeting violent commands or tweeting 60 times in one day a number of conspiracy theories. Now they're even labeling if you've read an article before retweeting it to cut down on trolls and bots. On the other side, we have Facebook, who are just leaving these posts up, citing that it is part of the public record. But the question is, if a platform labels tweets or leaves them up because they need to be part of the public record, does that platform then become like the media? Do they become a filter? Aren't they already a filter? And why does the president get one set of rules on a private platform, but others do not? This is making many seriously question the place of social media in our world. Sure, for how powerful social media is, it has been used to liberate countries. We've seen this with Arab Spring, but with this power, they've also been able to show true authority over populations, as we've seen in a country like Myanmar. And it could happen here in the United States. It's this latter scenario we don't want to get into, and this is why, more and more, we think we'll see a power shift rising. First, it will be a Twitter versus a Facebook world. Then it will be advertisers wondering if they want to advertise on platforms that spread disinformation and dishonesty. These platforms might be in for a rude awakening as their users, instead of sitting idle, wear out their thumbs clicking on not only report post buttons for information they deceive as harmful, but the delete my account button altogether.
Trending topics on DFM. Penthouse to Doghouse.
Want to build a company? Easy. Get capital by noting you have a few franchises, pump up your metrics, get more investment money, and then run away with that money and dump all the assets. But wait, that's illegal, you say? Well, yeah, that's fraud. Tell that to Luckin Coffee. Under previous company management, executives purportedly juiced financials by creating vouchers to sell to fake buyers connected to the company. Millions in fake revenue was reported to boost the company's growth metrics and impress shareholders. And this leads to a larger question about economics. Is any of what we do real? When a company can actually IPO with fake and forged metrics and swindle investors to the point they are out of their hard-earned money as the stock crashes to $2 a share and gets delisted from NASDAQ, you have to wonder about any financial reporting and the tools they use to cast doubt over the performance of these companies. So while we may be excited today about a stock that is reaching record highs, the question to ask is, are any of these companies sound companies? Meaning, are they a bright, shiny unicorn? A wolf in sheep's clothing? Or in the case of Luckin, a watered-down, lukewarm cup of coffee?
Trending topics on DFM. Social impact.
What happens when the government stops doing the following? Investing in housing, investing in jobs, and investing in education. What happens when budgets go up to militarize the police and the military budget never gets chopped? Well, you get a world questioning why we've done what we've done the last 40 years in supply-side economics. And that brings us to our special guest. Bobby Turner is CEO of Turner Impact Capital. We're at an interesting crossroads in the history of the world. We can keep going down the narrow path, or we could open it up for more inclusivity and more opportunity. So we wanted to speak to Bobby about why profits for purpose is an area of investment long overdue in many financial portfolios. Bobby joined us on Microsoft Teams earlier this week to talk about this important topic. Let's check it out.
So if we look at education, the role education plays. If we look at healthcare, the role healthcare plays. And if we look at housing, we as an investment firm, we are investing in the community enriching infrastructure. So we are buying and preserving the affordability of workforce housing, freeing up people from being in survival mode, preventing people from having to make the decision or trading off rent for food security or health security or retirement security. What we want to do in education is we want to build out best-in-class educators or educational operators who are providing an opportunity for students to thrive. When only 1 in 3 students in public education in this country are proficient in grade level, that is not a passing grade. And I think we all know that education is critical to upward mobility. And third, we're building out and focused on our failing healthcare system. Again, when you're spending 20% of your GDP on healthcare and the outcomes are in the bottom quartile, that's not sustainable. When we look at healthcare, we recognize very quickly that the primary problem is that we have a flawed reimbursement methodology in this country. We have historically paid healthcare providers on volume. They get paid when they see a patient, when they prescribe a procedure, or when they operate. So what we have here is not a healthcare system, but rather a sick care system. The good news is that as a result of the leadership from CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, we're realizing that to be successful, we've got to get away from a rescue care-based system to a preventative care-based system where we can deliver health care in a safer, less expensive environment, and that requires a retooling of the healthcare infrastructure. It requires a shifting of the burden of outcome away from the insurance providers and onto those delivering the actual health care. So what we're seeing in America is the need for affordable, quality workforce housing where people aren't spending more than a third of their income on rent. What we see in underserved communities is an opportunity for kids to go to high-performing schools, be them public schools or charter schools. And what we see in America is a shift and a need to retool our healthcare system from rescue to preventative healthcare by building out community-serving facilities that are actually anticipating problems and addressing them before they become chronic issues.
Bobby Turner, CEO of Turner Impact Capital. Investing for social impact is timely on making an impact on improving public schools, funding affordable housing, and promoting public health.
You're listening to Disruptive FM with Jeffrey Colon.
Now, here comes the music.
Hey, it's Disruptive FM, the culture of business. I'm Jeffrey Colon. Thanks for tuning in. We're proud to say we've supported and documented Black Lives Matter since 2014 and the power of leaderless movements, and we don't plan to stop. We've got evidence. Pages 60 through 69 of my book, Disruptive Marketing. Researched in 2014, written in 2015, published in 2016. Please reach out to us and give us feedback. The Twitter and Instagram handle is @DisruptiveFM. And connect with me personally on Twitter and Instagram @DJGEOFFE. A huge thanks to our sponsor partners for their support. Branding Strategy Insider serves over 50,000 senior-level marketers, CMOs, and business decision makers every day. It's distributed by partners such as The Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, Google News, and Forbes. Branding Strategy Insider, the leading resource for thought leadership and brand strategy and brand management. They need to be on your radar. Check them out at brandingstrategyinsider.com. And Iographer. Iographer makes accessories that help you make professional-level content with your smartphone. From cases to ring lights to better microphones, they have you sorted. If you need to shoot video now on a budget, you should definitely check them out at iographer.com. In the background, music from the Beatrayers. It's a track called Rapping Disco Funk. Out now on Miggity Entertainment.
And now, Disruptive FM presents... What? What kind of shit is that? Come on!
There are only 4 black CEOs in the Fortune 500. And to this, we say...
What? Come on!
All right. Here are a few stories starting to make some noise that you might want to take a closer look at. It's another installment of On the Radar. Now brought to you by Insights with Microsoft.
Here's what's on the radar. Emerging stories we have our sights on. Presented by Insights with Microsoft. Number 1.
With hospitals across the country buckling under the weight of the pandemic, many are rethinking their operations in preparation for future crises. Healthcare facilities are reimagining the design of hospitals and exploring new ways to leverage telemedicine, robots, and other technology to promote physical distancing in healthcare. The goal is to isolate and treat infectious patients while still providing other vital services. Such changes stand to change the way people experience care, even after the current crisis.
Number 2.
As Black Lives Matter protests continue to grow across the United States and beyond, fans of the Korean pop genre have consolidated their social media might to amplify Black Lives Matter voices and suppress the efforts of white supremacists. The fandom banded together and overwhelmed the hashtag Whiteout Wednesday, along with the white supremacist hashtags like White Lives Matter, MAGA, and Blue Lives Matter, filling the feed with videos of performances from Korean pop stars with the hope of drowning anti-protest rhetoric and redirecting attention back to the protests. Meme warfare may be the biggest area of battles moving forward in an era of information jamming.
Number 3.
Number 3 is an actual insight from Microsoft. The travel bug is scratching its way back into the American psyche, but not for the places we typically see in online searches. With pandemic concerns still on the minds of travelers, the top search destinations in April were remote areas, including national parks, and towns with smaller populations like Myrtle Beach and Scottsdale. And the way people travel this summer could shift as well, with 80% of search queries showing the car as the preferred mode of transport, with about 45% of these travelers planning trips of 100 miles or less. As they say, adventure can be found in your own backyard. And you can get nuggets of wisdom like this one delivered to you every day. Subscribe to Insights with Microsoft on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And that's a wrap for another episode, number 70. Special thanks to Bobby Turner for joining us. Next week, it's episode 71, and we'll be joined by Aaron Ashley Simon, TV host in esports, gaming, and culture. As always, thank you for your time and attention. We'd love for you to rate, review, and especially subscribe to the show. And we're everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Once again, the socials, Twitter and Instagram at DisruptiveFM. And check out cool content from our sponsors at MicrosoftAdvertising.ai, BrandingStrategyInsider.com, and iographer.com. Until next time, from everyone here at DFM, I'm Jeffrey Colon. From us to you, speak truth to power, and we'll catch you next week.
You've been listening to Disruptive FM with Microsoft's head of brand studio, Jeffrey Colon. All thoughts are his own. Disruptive FM is produced in Los Angeles by Feeler Media.